Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling, week number 3 of January 2021. Let's get straight into it. So look, last couple of weeks we've been doing pretty well. Obviously, we're coming off our New Year's Smash show not too long ago, where Moxley versus Phoenix was the main event for 72, the best match on the card. Hardys made their debut as well. Overall, 70 rated show. Last week on Dynamite, 68 rated, including Nick Jackson and Jungle Boy in the main event. So we're, spicing things up here, doing a couple of different things. Inner Circle beat Private Party for a 74 rated. Moxley had a terrific promo, 97. So some good things are happening. So obviously, we're now in that tricky period where, we've got probably 6 weeks of build-up before we get to the AEW Revolution pay-per-view. So it's quite some time, so we've got plenty of time to really build up our storylines, and we've created some new ones. So let's have a quick little look at what we've got happening here. So FTR and the Hardys will be taking place at Revolution. Looking forward to that one. That I feel like will be a really, really good match. Inner Circle and the Young Bucks, I think, hopefully, we can get this storyline heat up there, because I really believe this will be the best match maybe of the year. I can't really see a match that we're going to do. Maybe Cody and Kenny could be a little bit better, but geez, this match will come close to being the best match we'll do in the series. So I think that could be the main event. We're doing something different here. Obviously, Jon Moxley and Darby Allin. It's Moxley's got this period where there's not really many guys to challenge him. So Darby Allin's going to step up. Good opportunity for us to elevate Darby. We've been talking about doing it for ages now, so now's our chance. And a main event spot, well, probably won't close the show out, but a main event spot on Dynamite for the next few weeks, and some high profile situations will be good for Darby, so hopefully it'll help elevate him into the 50 popularity stage. So we have officially signed Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, so they'll join this Elite and Kenny Omega storyline, where it might be a bit of the old Bullet Club versus the Elite. So Adam Page, Cody Rhodes will be against Kenny, and of course the Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows. So things will be getting a little bit interesting here. I think we're going to wait a while until we debut Anderson and Gallows. I think we're going to wait until the Omega and Adam Page rematch, and then maybe have Anderson and Gallows interfere and cost Adam Page the match, and set up for a Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega match. And then maybe after Revolution we might have some sort of 6-man tag, or maybe 8-man tag, or something big where we put the Elite against Omega, Gallows and Anderson, and we'll do something there. So that's down the road, but looking forward to seeing how this all unfolds. Just at the moment, it's really going well. 77 storyline heat. Park and Miro, still got that one. We got Lance Archer, and we got Brian Cage. So I think at this point, I'm probably going to do a fatal 4-way. Those 4 guys, Archer and Cage, are doing too well to not be in the mix. And they're an option for us if they want to take the pinfall, or maybe Park, either or. But so interesting matchup here. 3 big guys, and then you got Park as well to kind of, change things up a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that one goes. So we might do Miro and Park one-on-one in the next couple of weeks. Maybe some shenanigans lead to maybe a 4-way at some point. MJF and Sting. So we were worried that Sting's contract wouldn't allow him to do it. That was the case, but we've fixed his contract. We've signed him to a new deal, and Sting will now be able to wrestle in at least a cinematic match, because he's going to do it in real life. We might as well utilize it here. MJF and Sting, I feel like, will do a really solid match. We've created a brand new storyline, and this one's going to be called Moving Up the Card, where basically all the guys in the mid-card, we're going to start putting them against each other. Some matches there to try, it's a promos too, to try and elevate those guys. Try and find who's the best guy out of that mix. Who should be really, who's the top 2 or 3 guys that we should be focusing our time on? Who shouldn't we be? So all the guys that are around that high 30s, low 40s area. Even Jake Hager's in that mix as well. He's got high 50s, but I threw him in there as well. Guys that are kind of floundering around doing not a lot. Good chance for them to do something here in this storyline. Nyla Rose and Big Swole, Ricky Starks and Matt Cardona. That one's just simply to put over Ricky Starks, and we might even do the match very, very soon. We won't waste too much time. The Acclaimed and the Varsity Blondes, 2 lower card tag teams, might battle out a lot of the pre-shows, but a chance for them to get in the mix and get involved and see what they can do. Future of the Dark Order, so we're still going with this one. Eric Redbeard's now the leader, short term, but he's kind of putting them through the, through the works, making them do workouts, really kind of testing them to see, who deserves, to be in the Dark Order, as he's trying to figure out, should I get rid of this guy? Should I, keep him? So the future of the Dark Order is really up in the air, and that's kind of the storyline we're going with at the moment. And Thunder Rose and Britt Baker one-on-one for the championship. Looking forward to seeing how that one all plays out. So those are the storylines we've got at the moment. AEW Dark is already booked. Let's go ahead and take a look at the results there. So we get into the show straight away. On the pre-show, Austin Gunn took on Sunny Kiss for 30 rated. Sunny Kiss 32, Austin Gunn 22. We gave Austin the win. I still don't have a lot for Sunny Kiss. Joey Janela and Sunny Kiss are a tag team loosely, but not a lot happening for those two. Bea Priestley lost to Serena D for 32. Both women performed at 31. So we are looking to move Bea Priestley on, as well as Priscilla Kelly. Bea Priestley's always had this issue where the fans just don't want to see her or don't care about her at all. So rather than try and take that risk and invest a lot of time in her, I'm going to move her and Priscilla on at the same time. And now we're trying to use those two women to put over some of our other women. And Serena Deeb will get a chance to maybe get a win here to try and move her up the ranks. Abaddon had a hype video as well for 30, so kind of hyping up her as a character. Still got hopes at Abaddon. Obviously, her in-ring performances are pretty crap, so you know it's a difficult one. Do we really invest in her, or do we try and make her more angle-centric? But we'll have to figure it out. Okay, and another pre-show match, and this one didn't go so well. Santana versus Peter Avalon for 45. Santana 55, Peter Avalon 35. But Peter Avalon broke his toe. Well, now broken toe, I don't think it's going to be too bad of an injury, but it could keep him out for a few weeks, maybe. You'd have to believe so. He shouldn't be performing at 100% for a while, so he might be able to work through it, but maybe he shouldn't. But Santana picked up the win, and Peter Avalon will be on the shelf for a little bit. Yeah, not good. Post-match, we had the Proud and Powerful. They cut a promo hyping themselves up as a team. So we really have underutilized Proud and Powerful so well. And probably when we were about to start using them, Ortiz went down with about a 3-month injury. So we're still trying to wait for him to come back. But I figured it's time to maybe start giving them some promos and seeing what they can do as a team. Alright, so we opened up the show. We talked about this storyline earlier on, moving up the card. Well, here we go. We got 8 guys all involved in this storyline. Eddie Kingston starts it off how he says, I should be next in line, I've done this, this, and this. And all of a sudden, Colt Cabana interrupts, Dustin Rhodes, and you get the point. Everyone starts to come out. Matt Sydal, Jake Hager, Joey Janela, Orange Cassidy, and Scorpio Sky, all involved here. 54 rated segment, all these guys out there cutting promos to try and prove that, hey, I deserve a spot, I deserve a chance. Well, now we'll get them all in there, and we'll do an 8-man tag in the main event later on. Priscilla Kelly lost to Anna Jay. Both women not enough popularity to gain much interest out of the fans, but I wanted to give Anna Jay a win here. I still have high hopes for Anna Jay. I still believe she'll get there, but Priscilla Kelly obviously on her way out. So we've given Anna Jay that win to try and put her over a little bit. Big Swole cut a promo on Nyla Rose saying that she's not going to back down from a fight, no matter how big Nyla Rose is. So Dasha Gonzalez interviewing her there for 34. Not too bad. We had the Dark Order take on Top Flight for 40. Dark Order is starting to impress me, I'm not going to lie. 47 and 44 from them, that's pretty good. That's to the point where they can actually really enter that tag division and be decent. You know, they're probably, you know, right up there with TH2 or maybe Best Friends, those types of performances. They're not far away. The Martin Brothers, Top Flight, 26 and 30. Not bad from them. Obviously, they're a young, lower card tag team, but having matches of this quality will certainly help their popularity. It may take some time, but they'll get there. Dark Order, of course, picked up the win. Post-match, Eric Redbeard comes out and he just beats the crap out of Top Flight to send a message to Grayson and Uno that, you know, he means business, and this is the type of, win that they should be getting. They should be this dominant. They should be beating them down, no mercy. That's the style that this new Dark Order, this is the direction that they're going to take. So 32 for that one. And then the main event was Dustin Rhodes, Colt Cabana, Scorpio Sky, and Orange Cassidy. They teamed up to take on Eddie Kingston, Jake Hager, Joey Janela, and Matt Sydal. Well, here's a chance to see who performed at the best. No surprise, it was Jake Hager with 58. Orange Cassidy second best with 54. Eddie Kingston 53. Joey Janela was the worst in the match, and that's not a surprise, 40. Matt Sydal 45. Dustin Rhodes 48. Colt Cabana 49. Scorpio Sky, probably a little bit low for him, 46. And we gave the win to Jake Hager's team, Eddie Kingston, Janela, and Matt Seidel involved there. So a 46 rated match. A lot of those guys are performing high 40s, some even in the 50s. You can see Kingston and Cassidy, probably the two standouts there. So maybe those are the two guys early on that we might need to identify to push. Cole Cabetta, though, was good as well, and he's got high 30s, low 40s pop. For him to get 49 is pretty good. Of course, he's not a part of the Dark Order. So Joey Janela was used far too much. Look, I agree. Nobody wants to see Joey Janela any longer than they have to. 36 rated in the end. That's pretty low. That might be one of our worst shows we've done so far. Okay, let's take a look at the results for Dynamite. On the pre-show, we had Britt Baker with Awesome Kong and Rebel cutting a promos, and she was warning Thunder Rosa that her career is in jeopardy against her. So, obviously Britt Baker's pretty confident now that she has Awesome Kong to watch her back. So this new confidence that she's got, she's looking to play it here. 52 rated for this promo. Good stuff to build up the upcoming match. Bea Priestley took on Abaddon for just 19. Abaddon picked up the win. 28 from Abaddon, Bea Priestley 32. We had Abaddon in a dominating performance here, so hopefully that gets her a little bit of popularity because she's still got absolutely none, basically. Max Caster was giving us a bit of a rap about the Varsity Blondes, so we're advancing that storyline between the Acclaimed and Varsity Blondes. Powerhouse Will Hobbs defeated Alan Angels in a 20 rated match. Wow. Hobbs 39, Angels 33. A little surprised that this match didn't go so well. Both performances were pretty good. This is kind of where Will Hobbs is going to struggle a little bit because, we're in that transitional phase where he's not going to beat any major names just yet. So he's just really working with guys who are much worse off than he is. So it's kind of affecting him, not really benefiting him by beating these guys. So we might have to rethink our strategy with him. And finally, the close at the pre-show, Jake Roberts talked about how pissed off Lance Archer is that Miro and Park is happening and Archer is not in that match. So 62 for that one. Just want to get Archer still involved in that storyline. Okay, we opened up the show with the Hardys and FTR with Tully as well. And the Hardys are wanting answers from FTR. Why did you attack us? Why are you coming after us? What is your problem with us? FTR say that they owe no explanation to anyone and they can do whatever they want whenever they want. 61 rated, so pretty good stuff in the end here. Apparently Matt Hardy came across as a real star, which is good. Jeff Hardy came across well. So yeah, these promos aren't quite delivering. Two teams that are probably not so strong on the mic. So it's kind of difficult to hype up this feud a little bit. Maybe we need some more matches to take place. I'm looking to maybe have the Hardys make their debut. I was going to do it, the Dynamite debut that is. I was going to do it this show, but maybe next week we might do that. But 61, that's still pretty decent. The Lucha Brothers took on Top Flight for 59. We had Penta 61, Ray Phoenix 74. Wow. Dante 28, Darius 29, 59 rated match in the end. I was thinking maybe that could have been a little bit higher, but that's okay. Lucha Brothers, we don't want to get them out of the mix. We don't want them to fall away. We don't have a storyline for them at the moment, but getting them still on Dynamite, still competing, still winning is important, and a good chance to get Top Flight in there to see how they fare against one of our better teams. MJF took on Scorpio Sky for 67. MJF 74, Scorpio 43. Scorpio didn't quite perform so well. MJF picked up the win. Post-match, and here we go. MJF says enough is enough. He wants his world title shot or else Sting will be the one to suffer. So now it's finally starting to turn into MJF against Sting, where it's always been MJF wanting his rematch, wanting his world title shot. Considering that no one is currently the number one contender, it makes sense that MJF is demanding that and Sting still won't give it to him. So it might be a situation where if MJF beats Sting, he actually does get his title shot in the end, which might lead to Moxley and MJF again at some point. 82 for that segment. Very good stuff from MJF, and this storyline is really coming along nicely. Matt Cardona took on Brian Cage for 60. Ricky Starks distracted Cardona to cost him the match and led to Brian Cage picking up the win. Brian Cage 65, Cardona 41. So we are looking to get Brian Cage maybe in that TNT title match, make it a four-way. So we're still up in the air if we're going to do that, but at this stage I feel like that might be the way to go. And we wanted to get him a win, but also obviously Matt Cardona, currently feuding with Ricky Starks, so it makes sense to do this one. And Cage picked up a strong win, so we might do Starks and Cardona next week to round out this short-term, quick little storyline between those two. 60 rate is pretty good. 52 for the Aftermath, where Cage and Starks beat down Cardona some more for 52. Eric Redbeard took on Billy Gunn for 54. This was the first match we've seen from Redbeard here in AEW, and he performed at 50, Billy Gunn at 46. So Redbeard, I think, has 47 pops, so for him to perform at 50 is promising. It's okay, that's not too bad. And this one will advance the future of the Dark Order storyline. So their new leader picks up a win. Billy Gunn's one of those guys who's, right up there in age. Perfect guy, he's a bigger dude. He matches up well against Redbeard, so it looks good when Eric Redbeard can take him down. And a 54 match is actually, that's a lot better than I expected, so that's pretty good from those two. We had a following segment as well, where we had the Elite, Adam Page, Cody Rhodes, out there with Kenny Omega, Don Callis, and, to represent AEW, we had Sting, the GM. So AEW makes Page versus Omega official, and it's going to happen next week. And we had Callis going back and forth the mic with Adam Page as they talk some trash. 75 for that one there, advancing the storyline. So yeah, Page and Omega, we're going to do the rematch next week. And we might have Anderson Gallows interfere to save the day. And that will lead to Cody and Kenny coming up after that one at Revolution. It kind of makes me think, I wish we had, I had a thought of maybe Anderson Gallows, and maybe we do that match at Revolution and keep Omega and Cody up our sleeve. But I feel like the match to do is Omega and Cody, and that's a big Revolution match. Maybe we could say that for Double or Nothing, but again, that's 5 months away, so that's a long time to drag that out. So yeah, we'll have to think about it, but I feel like we'll stick with the course there and Cody and Kenny at the pay-per-view. Darby Allin had a hardcore rated match with Joey Janela for 50. And these two have no chemistry, which is surprising. Darby 55, Joey 49. And Darby Allin post-match, wow, 71 promo from him. He said, he asked Jon Moxley, he said, look, am I hardcore enough for you? You want to fight someone who's hardcore? Well, am I hardcore enough? Because I am ready to have that fight. So a 71 rated promo from Darby Allin is very good. And I feel like that will definitely increase his popularity, so stay tuned for that. Then we had a sit-down conversation, Jim Ross trying to mediate a conversation between Park and Miro about their upcoming match. So one of those classic sit-downs. I feel like, Steve Austin and The Rock had one of those ones where they had someone in between to kind of get the conversation going and keep it civil as they kind of talk about their upcoming big match. So Miro and Park involved in that one. So still going to be a few weeks away, I would say, and then we might have Archer and Brian Cage involve themselves somehow to kind of set up the four-way. Okay, main event was a 70 rated match. We had the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express, and this one went to a time limit draw. 20-minute match. We ran out of time on TV, so no more TV time left. Jurassic Express having a pretty good performance, 61 apiece. Matt and Nick 81 and 82. So kind of meeting each other in the middle there in terms of the overall performance, 70 rated. Jericho on commentary, Sammy Guevara ringside as well, watching on. So both teams, we couldn't find a winner. We had to kind of go to the time limit draw. So I feel like, I couldn't have Jurassic Express lose because they're about to take on the Inner Circle. And I can't have the Young Bucks lose because they're about to take on the Inner Circle. So, look, both teams can fight it out. They just continue to fight. Both teams are that good. They just can't find a winner. So, a time limit draw. And hopefully this elevates Jurassic Express a little bit. A 70 rated match, I feel like we will do the job. So now Young Bucks can't say that Jurassic Express don't deserve the next shot. And I suppose we kind of say this is a, avoided match. Jurassic Express, they keep their title shot next. Young Bucks will just have to wait until the winner of Inner Circle and Jurassic Express to take place. Overall, a 66 rated show. I think that's not too bad. We had some decent matches on there. A good couple of mid-card matches. MJF Scorpio Sky was good as well as the main event. So 66 is probably about fair. I feel like we may be missing one really good promo, but 82 I suppose is pretty solid. So yeah, can't complain with that one, and hopefully we get some changes out of the show. Alright, the results from NXT first. They had a 71-82 main event there. Adam Cole beating Bartel, Kushida, and Velveteen Dream. Their NXT titles on the line, no surprise there. Now, I want to take a closer look at the ratings. I've been always reading out the total viewership, and let's have a look at the USA viewership in particular. So the USA Network, they are getting 1.4 million, so 1.87. So I was trying to think to myself, maybe their actual American viewership isn't that strong. Well, I was wrong. 1.4 million, still well above what we're doing. Speaking of our show, we had 1.06 TV ratings, 796,000 viewers for us. So not too bad. You know, look, that's okay. That's okay. Our actual TNT rating is 739,000 viewers. So it's actually not that good. So we actually need to start getting out of these 60s and get into the 70s. Now, our Dynamite still aren't as strong as we would have liked, but I suppose, you know, when you think about it, you know, we're not really having our main event guys. Cody Rhodes isn't wrestling every week, neither is Kenny, and we're really building the mid card. So, you know, we're playing the long game here. You know, we're really just kind of keeping ourselves in the hunt. So we'll see. Kevin Nash is retired. Oh, you are kidding me. I was about to book him for our main event soon. That's a shame. Anyways, Peter Avalon, yes, he suffered that injury. Let's take a look at how bad it is. You know, fingers crossed that it's just a minor one. And it's only 3 days. It only takes 3 days to get through a broken toe. Oh, God. I won't feel too bad if I ever break my toe. Ortiz is back to 100% in 4 days, so we can get Proud and Powerful back as a team. That'll really help out our mid-card tag team situation, which is good. Very, very good. All right, popularity changes. Let's have a look. Abaddon, I think, she moved up a couple of points after a pre-show win. Yep, so she's now at 17 in the Southeast. So that's a good start. Well, Matt Hardy may have got a little bit of movement out of his recent couple of weeks. He's only considered to be a well-known at this point in perception, but he's now 56 popularity in the Southeast, which is good. He's obviously lost some, started the game at 60, now at 56. So a bit of a tough road for him, but now with his brother Jeff, things should be looking up. Darby Allin, 45 now for him, so he's in a good position. He's been gaining popularity slowly. It hasn't been that successful of a gain in recent times, but I feel like this Moxie thing will get him up there, hopefully. Anyone else, really? Jungle Boy, now at 48 popularity. So, started the month at 46, last month at 42, so it's been a really good rise. You know, we've been pushing Jurassic Express quite hard here with the situation with the Young Bucks in Inner Circle, and it's paying off. Luchasaurus is at 48 as well, so by the time this feud is over, maybe we might be able to get them to 50 in the Southeast, which obviously puts them right above as one of our top tag teams. Maybe our, you know, probably 5th best tag team behind FTR and the Hardys, perhaps. So really, really good, nonetheless. Let's take a look elsewhere down the card a little bit further. Britt Baker still at 36 popularity, which, you know, she's starting to get some good promos happening. So I think there's positive signs that she might be able to improve that very, very soon in the near future. Just that little bit more, which I think would be huge for us. Matt Cardona lost again to Brian Cage, but no real change for him. He's still at 41. So when he loses to Ricky Starks, hopefully he does give Ricky a little bit of a gain. B. Priestley's down to 19 in the Southeast. Anna Jay up to 21. Abaddon, as we said, 17. So a couple of nice little changes there. The Martin brothers, 15 and 14. Despite the fact that they've been getting a couple of good matches there. They had a good one against Lucha Brothers, so no real change for them. Joe Janela still sitting on 39 somehow. I don't know how he's got that, but still sitting on a pretty good popularity after his match with Darby Allin. Will Hobbs still at 31, so still a bit of work to do. I think he kind of went down in popularity maybe. I'm not sure, but he's still a bit of work to do out of Will. Serena Deeb's at 19, so she's had a bit of a gain after... well, she's actually lost popularity in recent times, so maybe not the gain that we're looking for, actually. I thought she was lower than that, but yeah, so she's actually going down, which is not good. And the last one, you know, Thunder Rose is at 34 popularity. I'm hoping that we can get her at, you know, 35 plus after this feud with Britt Baker. That's obviously the goal that we want to try and accomplish there. But yeah, look, things are going okay so far. But the storylines, we've got a little bit of work to do. But you can see Young Bucks Inner Circle, that storyline hit's pretty low. And that's because of introduced, Jurassic Express. I feel like once we move away from them, we can really start to get that storyline really happening and the overall heat, hopefully to 80. But everyone else is doing pretty well. Sting and MJF have got really good stuff happening here. And I feel like maybe next week it might be the week where we actually have maybe Sting interact physically with MJF. Maybe there's a shove or a punch or something to kind of say that Sting's not going to stand for MJF's BS. Starks and Cardona now has some pretty good heat, so if we do that match next week, I feel like that will go pretty well. And of course, our next week's main event will be Kenny Omega and Adam Page, which has 77 heat at the moment, so that's going to be pretty good. Last time they had a match, what was it in the end? It was a pretty good one. It was 80 rated, so another one of those ones could give us a really good Dynamite. Maybe the best Dynamite we've had in a long time, because I think we need it. Our size of the company hasn't really been growing. We're currently sitting at 66 in the Southeast. We started at 65, but there's been some small little improvement, but really kind of staying where we're at. So, if we compare ourselves to NXT, who are having some big ratings as of late, they're only one ahead in every area of the game. So I guess that helps that they've got an overall strong viewership, and rather than one specific area, but they've had some big significant gains across the country, so that's kind of where they've been heading. They've had some good shows, so we need to really lift our game in the next little period. Otherwise, we're going to fall behind NXT even more, and there might just be no return. There might be no chance of us catching up, and there should be no excuse. We've got the roster now to really compete. I feel our mid card is probably the biggest issue, but we're slowly getting there. So if we can get a couple more guys, just that little bit extra popularity, we're in with a shot. So our best shows, let's have a look. Our best TV ratings, 1.18. So I'm hoping we can get close to that if we have a really good main event. 890,000 viewers is our best Dynamite. So that's not going to be easy to do by any means. 76 is our best Dynamite. So that's not going to be easy. And that was MJF and Moxley in the main event. We also had Nick Jackson and Dax Harwood. So we kind of stacked that show. And we even had Inner Circle beating Adam Page and Kenny Omega for the title. So that was just an absolute stacked card, that one. So we might have to do something similar next week. Really stack the deck, go all out, and have a really big show, considering the main event next week is strong, and it will be the final show for January. So stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. Next week will be a good one. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to see more, and I'll see you in the next one.